All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. John Hildebrand. In this video, I'm going to do 5 tips on interior design that have been helping me get more bookings on my Airbnb. So if that's something you're into, stay tuned because here we go. All right. First and foremost, before I even jump into the interior design, you have to know your avatar. What type of guest are you trying to reach out? Are you looking for athletes? Are you looking for bachelor parties and bachelorettes, weddings, event type of house? Are you going for the luxury side? So really make sure you fine tune what that is before you start designing your space. Also, when you find your avatar is when you'll know a little bit more about your budget. So for me, most of my homes are luxury homes. I'm going after the luxury market. So my design budget is anywhere from $12 to $25 a square foot. So know your market, know what you're trying to go after. With that said, let's jump into it. No typical order here. It's just the flow that I came up with. A lot of people don't talk about this, but number one, I always think about is paint colors. Really don't cheap on your paint, you guys. I see really cheap paint and it shows in the photographs and whatnot. So I know a lot of people do white. I love white, but don't be afraid to add some accent colors. Think about some colors that will help your place feel bigger, brighter, feels more cozy, feels like more of a home and whatnot. So color can really make a huge difference in your space. What I like to do sometimes in the kitchen, you can paint like the cabinets a dark contrast color, and then up top could be a lighter color just to give it some contrast. I love to do accent walls. So like in the bedroom, you can do a bright green or dark green or blue or a red if you really want to. But think about this too, when you're photographing your space, if you have a bright green or turquoise wall, you could really see that in the Airbnb listing, which I'll show you guys a couple examples. You can see that in the listing and hopefully somebody will click that based off just the color and grabbing. So color can make a huge difference. Don't cheap out on good paint and a good color. Now you hear me talk about this all the time. Number 2 is artwork. So just a good example, let's say Scottsdale. I'm in Scottsdale area. Don't go to all the big box chains and buy artwork. Try to be different, try to be original, you guys. I'm telling you, artwork does make a huge difference. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I see the same art pieces over and over and over again in people's house. A couple great tips on finding artwork. Go on Instagram, look for some local artists. Maybe they'll do some commission for your place. You can hang it up in there. You can sell it. That's always a great way. I always try to team up with local artists. Then look for any local art shows. Go down to local art shows, buy some of the art. It supports local artists, which is freaking cool. That's a great way to do it. So I would recommend doing that. Going to like mom and pop shops, you can find artwork. You can find good, cheap artwork online for sure, but just make sure, look around, look at your competitors. If everybody has the same piece, go try to find something different. There's so much different art out there. You can definitely find creative, different art if you take the time to look at it. So artwork also, guys, could be photos, paintings, sculptures. I find all kinds of random stuff that I like to hang on the wall that just adds depth and contrast to it. So don't be afraid to just dig around and find cool local stuff. Also with artwork, you can do neon signs. I find that to be artwork. You know, neon signs is always a really cool way to stand out, has a cool message. So I think there's a handful of websites now you can order those. Number 3, when it comes to design, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the living room. The living room is, I think, one of the most important parts because the living room and kitchen is pretty much where everyone's hanging out in. So the living room, you guys, is where I spend the most amount of money next to the master bedroom. So when you're designing your living room, I would highly recommend splurging on a really good couch and maybe 2 chairs or maybe 2 couches or whatnot, but definitely spend the money on a good quality couch, maybe one that has some color in there and whatnot that will definitely stand out in the photos. Get some accent pillows, a really cool table in front so people can put their drinks and whatnot. Make sure you have plenty of lighting, lamps, you know, overhead light, a fan with a light. There's never enough lighting in your living room. Also, if you can see the back of your couch, like if your couch is not right up against a wall and you can see the back of it, I always like to add a bench or some kind of table or whatnot behind the couch. That way you can add more artwork, you can add some blankets, you can add whatever you want on there, which is really nice. And people can also set their drinks and whatnot on that table. It also helps create a little bit more of depth to your overall design. One thing also, go spend some money on some rugs. I know you're probably gonna replace rugs all the time, but if you got a big room, make sure your rug is massive, goes through, you know, most of the room, goes under the couch and the chairs. I think a rug makes a huge difference. Some end tables. Also, spend the money on a good quality smart TV. Super important. Smart TVs are just everywhere. Black Friday, go get them, whatever. But like smart TVs, everyone's gonna be streaming. Spend the money and go out and get a nice large, the biggest size you can. You don't have to go like 100 inches or anything, but I do anywhere from like 75 to 65 in my living room. And then of course you always hear me say add Sonos. I always put a couple Sonos speakers in my living room. And another good thing in your living room to splurge on is good quality, really nice fake plants. Sometimes I'll splurge a little bit more and I'll even have a guy do custom plants for me where they look really, really, really real, but they just add so much. I just buy a really nice vase or pot. I put rocks on top of it so it looks and feels real. And don't buy those super cheap fake plants because it sucks. But I'm telling you, plants will create a whole different vibe in your living room. So definitely do that. Now let's go ahead and talk about the bedrooms as number 4. I find the bedrooms are also one of the most important parts. Now, when you're designing your bedroom, you definitely want to think comfort, cozy, relaxing, and make each bedroom feel and look different. So when you're taking the photos, people are scrolling through Airbnb, they look on your profile. Are they confused? Is that the same room they just looked at, or they know that's a different room? Maybe you want to do themes. That's completely up to you. But a couple of the quick basics when you're designing a room. Let's say you have a bed. You always want a good cozy bed, great sheets. If you're doing a king size bed, I recommend at least 4 pillows. I do 2 king pillows and then 2 standard always. And then I probably forget to tell you guys this all the time, but make sure you have bed bug covers on your mattress and your pillows. 100% do that. I will share you my Amazon shopping list at the end of this. Definitely check that out. So on the bed, a couple accent pillows. I always like to keep all my sheets nice and white. I do a throw blanket. Definitely helps with contrast and kind of makes the bed look and feel a little bit more high end. And then artwork above the bed or a nice bed frame will definitely make a difference. Always have 2 end tables on each side of the bed with a lamp, good lighting. People want to read and whatnot. And then also make sure that guests can charge their phone. Make sure there's an outlet or a plug or even a USB, whatnot. So definitely want those items. You definitely may, depending, you might want to add a bench or so or a chair in front of your bed, just so somebody has a spot to sit down, put on their shoes, get ready, whatever, right? Some of my bedrooms, I have enough space to add a little desk, which is a good plus. So if you have space, think about adding a desk in the bedroom. That way people can work. But one thing I love adding in the bedrooms too, you guys, is a stand-up full-length mirror. It brightens up the room, first of all, but then almost every girl loves having a full-length mirror. So when they're getting ready, they can see themselves and then they go out on the night. So I would recommend, don't buy a cheap one, buy a nice one. You can have the ones that lean up against the wall, or you can get it screwed into the wall, but definitely do that. And then a couple other knickknacks and amenities when it comes to your room is make sure there's plenty of hangers. If you want to go super luxury, you can have a steamer, a luggage rack, maybe you want a dresser, but just don't go too bare in the bedrooms. Artwork, fake plants again in the bedrooms is super awesome. I love doing that. So because the bedrooms, if people get good sleep, you guys, they're going to be a happy guest. They're going to tell the main primary guest, hey, give them a 5-star. My bed was the best. Good vibes, whatever. All right, guys. So this is my plus listing. Some of you guys may have seen it before. This is a plus listing. 4.97, 108 reviews, but just wanted to kind of go and show you some design stuff that we did. And since it was the plus listing, I kind of did work with Airbnb. They gave me some design tips. So let's just click on the photos and kind of just explain here a little bit. So you can see we put in an electric fireplace, this one is actually, the middle plant right here is actually a real plant, and we just have an auto water. My housekeepers will water it as well. This is fake. This is a nice big fake plant. You can see we did some art on the walls, fireplace, large TV, couches. So you guys kind of get the idea. And then these are like really nice window treatment that we added in. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys a couple little examples so you can get a better idea of design and maybe what you guys could do with your design. My internet's going really slow right now. See over here, like this is original artwork. I commissioned this by 2 of my friends. This is a photo I did of some palm trees. We have a nice little welcome note. This is a one-of-a-kind piece that I found at an antique shop. Same thing. I found this at just like a traditional store. It was super easy to find. But let me show you the accent wall. So I kind of wanted to show you the master, not my favorite color, but I was trying to match some colors in the blinds here. So I was trying to match this color to match a couple of the blinds. Plus I wanted it to be really bright so it would pop out on Airbnb. So I got some accent pillows. I got this throw blanket that has a little bit of this color in it as well. But this definitely just helps kind of make it stand out. Again, put another big fake plant in here, some original art. And then like I was talking about the mirrors, here is a big mirror you can see right here. So it just gives you kind of a better idea. Also, this is my latest listing, Rancho Laurado. It's not fully done yet, but this is a custom build house. We went all out on the interior design, hired a designer. We got some professional help. But I just wanted to kind of point out, you know, you can see that this is professionally designed. This is just fantastic. So, you know, just some simple artwork. You can see what I was talking about earlier by having the couch, and you can see the back of the couch. It's always nice to have a bench dresser. That way you can add some rocks down here, a fake plant, some books. These are my Sonos speakers on a stand. You can see a big giant rug, some original art. And these plants are a little overkill, but they're like custom built, one of a kind. They basically look real. But then we put rocks on top. I got a huge vase. So just to give you guys a little bit better idea of, you know, in here, just give you a couple, you know, we put some games right here, you know, some fake plants, original art on the walls. All right. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys that. And let me show you another bedroom. So I just wanted to show you the bedroom again. Bedroom, right? A light stand, somewhere they can plug their phone in. We put different kind of art above the bed. Most of these walls are white, light gray, but then we have a bench at the end of the bed so you can sit down, get your shoes on and whatnot. As you can see, we have a throw blanket over here, you know, large TV. So gives you guys a little bit better idea. And then this one's a little bit more of like a bonus tip or bonus option. If you have space to build out a game room or an office, or you have the option to do both, I would take advantage of doing this. More people are staying longer, more people are working from home. So let's talk about the office space first. This is kind of number 5. It's game room and office. But let's say you have the space for an office. Get a good desk. I always like to provide a printer, some paper, good chair. Sometimes I will provide a large monitor, so that way I don't have to travel with a monitor. People can plug right in. That's kind of cool. Extremely fast Wi-Fi. The fastest Wi-Fi you can get for your guests is just going to be that much more better for them if they're working from home. So think about that. And then good lighting. Sometimes I'll add like colorful lighting in my office or whatnot. Accent color walls could help too. And then in the game room, you guys find some games. Like I went and found some old arcade games. I found some checkers, all kinds of games, like dart games, like air hockey. Just think about that kind of stuff. There's definitely a lot of space for you to do very creative game rooms. People love this, especially if people plan on hanging out in your house more. Give them something to do. If they're hanging out, it's a good time to do that. So that was just a really quick video to give you guys this basic setup for when you're designing. Now, as you guys all know, I use a company called Hostgpo when I do all of my design, build out my kitchen with Hostgpo. I buy my furniture. So Hostgpo link is below, the best marketplace for a host. check that out for sure. And I appreciate you guys all sticking around. Let me know in the comments if you have some other design tips that's really working for you. I'm always learning. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.